Thank you, Laska Hirlock. And Minister, you're very welcome into the Chamber today. I know that you have been instrumental in bringing the credit unions we have in this country forward in relation to banking and how we do banking in this country. It is an important time for credit unions in this country as we come out of COVID and the economy picks back up again. The reinvigorated movement of money around the country presents great opportunities to examine our financial systems and improve upon them. There seems to be a joint understanding that the role of the credit unions can be built up to better meet the needs of the communities. The Minister himself spoke last month about the need for the unions to fill the gap, and further involvement of the unions in the mortgage industry would provide greater options to borrowers and help offset further consolidation of the banking sector. Senator Boyhan raised the calls of the Irish League of Credit Unions last week with the Minister that the necessary regulatory changes be made to enable that increased presence in the mortgage market, and that the unions be enabled to become key providers of community banking as per the programme for government. As you then pointed out, Minister, the credit unions last year had a mortgage book of approximately 260 million, a figure which has grown 26% year on year. This is to be welcomed, but it is something of a drop in the ocean when one appreciates that mortgage drawdowns hit 10.5 billion last year. 2021 had the highest volumes of mortgages granted since 2009 and the highest mortgage values since 2008. So there's obviously more work to be done. I understand that the Minister said to Senator Boyhan that he would be meeting with the Irish League of Credit Unions and the legislation would be coming before the House in due time. I hope that such legislation will be developed with the input from the ILCU as well as the Central Bank, and that the Department of Finance will engage with all other stakeholders in a timely manner. More broadly, I think the role of the credit union in community banking can see development outside of the mortgage market too. A credit union can often provide a much more personal touch, being staffed by locals from the community, and that can be of great value, whether to the people who are marginalised, vulnerable, or may just be less comfortable in a formal banking situation. Additionally, credit unions offer an accessible line of credit for people with limited means, who can use the union for small deposits and withdrawals, allowing them to save what they have and to get a loan if needs be. It allows individuals control over their finances that they need otherwise mightn't be able to have through a traditional bank. I'd like to see the credit unions become hubs for their communities, helping to help with their finances for people and be allowed to develop their financial support mechanisms. And finally, one area of research and development which will serve to future-proof the credit union sector is in digital currency. The decentralised aspect of digital currencies will allow further autonomy for personal finances and empower each individual to save, borrow and spend as they see fit. The role that the credit union has with regard to the marginalised is really, really important. And what we don't want to see is our credit unions turning into what we now know as our banks. That's something we don't want. Those people that are marginalised, the people that may be suffering from domestic abuse, may be living in a coerced relationship, that may not have access to their own funding. It's really important that we make it as easy as possible for those people to be able to lodge what they can, when they can, without too much, I suppose, red tape. So the credit unions throughout this country make a wonderful contribution to our economy. I would like to see more of the credit unions involved in ATM, having access to ATMs in towns where banks have closed down and where there may not even be banks. So maybe that might be something that you could look into as well. Thank you very much, Minister.